Steven, what's up, man?
Not much, buddy. How you doing?
So good. Thanks for making time out of your busy day to jump on a quick call and chat about Agency U and all of your successes and how much you're crushing it, dude.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. For you, anything, Austin.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Well, let's kick it off. For the people watching or listening, tell us a little bit about you, your agency, where you're based, all of the good stuff.
Yeah, my name is Steven Sanchez. My agency name is Sovereign Media. I'm currently based in North Idaho, specifically the Coeur d'Alene area, but I've only been here for about 4 years and originally came from San Diego, California. But we don't say that word here in Idaho because it's a no word, California.
Yeah, we don't do that. Cool, man. What do you guys do at Sovereign Media?
We help entrepreneurs and business owners discover, develop, and distribute their brand. Mainly, we help them create content and we put it out for them in a nutshell.
Nice. How long have you been doing it?
Um, Maybe like a year and a half. Sovereign Media has been around for 4 years, 2020. Prior to that, when I was in San Diego, I had a real estate media business. It was called Taylor and Reach. So I was doing listing videos, 3D tours, websites, that whole stuff. I had the opportunity to sell that before moving to North Idaho. And I wanted to focus on small businesses because the real estate industry is like very personal, very emotional. I was dealing with the agent's dealing with the seller, and I was like, I'm over it. So I started
Yeah.
focusing on local businesses here, coffee shops, restaurants, mainly doing photos and managing the social media platforms. And then one of my clients and mentors, Sharon, gave me a call one day from Hawaii, and he's like, "Man, I think I'm about going all in on these reels thing. You want to do it with me?"
Nice.
And I was like, okay. And I noticed my photo reach was going down, like everything was just tanking. I start seeing like Hermosi pop up. I was like, yeah, let's do it. So I kind of dove deep. I actually let some clients go to give him all my attention. And then I
Nice.
started diving deep into this personal brand, the vertical videos, and realized really quickly that that's the way social media was going. So been doing the vertical form stuff for maybe a year and a half or a year. Just when it really started taking off, I just jumped in on it.
Yeah. Seems like you've been doing it a lot longer, just based off of like how quickly you picked everything up.
Yeah, it seems like way, but when your world's consumed by something, like it, you're obsessed. When I get the little
Sure.
bug of obsession, like you're Iron Man and you're running, like
Yeah.
it's just all or nothing. That could be a good thing and it could be a bad thing. So
Yeah, for sure. Um, well, cool. Well, you've been in Agency U for a few months now. Like what inspired you to join as you continue to grow your agency, and like what are the ambitions with Agency U as you continue to grow your agency?
yeah, I think you and I talked once briefly, and at the moment I wasn't quite ready to go agency mode. I was in the process of building a taco business here in Coeur d'Alene. I was like, I'm gonna get that my attention for a little bit. And then so that got up and running, did pretty well. And then started going into this short form video stuff. I think when you and I talked too, that was before vertical videos was actually really taking off.
Hmm.
And so vertical video started going. I was like, man, I knew what I was doing, but I was a solopreneur really. I was at an office to myself. This kind of content, this kind of way of thinking is not necessarily as big as it is like where you're at or San Diego, big cities. Coeur d'Alene is always says like 5-10 years behind
Yeah.
other main cities. So it's kind of like a loner in this in this kind of like a agency thing. So I was like, man, I need some help to get around people that are further ahead of me, just to be in a place where I can collaborate with people, hear what they're doing, what's working, what's not working. And then I was like, how does he do this stuff? You and I, or Brantijic and I, is pretty much
Hmm.
in the same niche.
Hmm.
So I was like, well, he's doing it well. Let's see what they're doing. I really didn't have a desire to build a big agency. I still don't. I don't want 25 people working under me, but I now have a team of 3. But if
Yeah.
I can adopt the principles and the systems of a team as big as Brentigic and apply it to a boutique, then my clients will feel, the strength of a big agency, but still have the love and the personal care working directly with me or someone on my team, as you would get with the boutique.
Yeah. So kind of like, hey, I'm coming into this like freelancer, like not really entirely sure how to structure like the business side of things so that
Hmm.
I'm not like running around doing everything, maybe a little disorganized, which is 2xing the time of doing everything? How do I kind of work myself out of that? Was that like the initial ambition, do you think?
Yeah, 100%. I realized really quickly that I'm just one man. I could only edit so many videos. I could only bring on so many clients. And I mean, later on, I developed this saying. It's one of my like personal brands saying that time is not money because time is made up of life is made up of time, not money. So I really was trying to do my own thing to essentially save. I was giving a lot of my time up to save some money and do it myself.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't do this. It's not sustainable. I can't do this forever. So, okay, now it's time to find a way to fire myself and bring someone else in. And ironically, I'm back in the real estate space. I said I was going to get out of it, but real estate, I can really systematize it. I can make it a product. I can hand it off to people. And because I was an agent for a while, I was a real estate media business for a while, and my first client, Sharon, is a real estate guy. It's just easy to me. I know it very well. I can
Yeah.
relate to real estate agents. So I just needed some help, and I want to fire myself eventually. And over time, I've eliminated a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a slower process because I want to make sure it's done right before I really get away from all of it. But it's been super, super helpful already.
Yeah. I would say, I mean, in the short time that we've been working together, it's been pretty cool how much you've already been able to remove yourself, because I think it's so true. Like, it's so comfortable and control, and we want to do it the right, and we want to do everything. And then you get
Mm-hmm.
into it, and then you realize like, I'm trapped, and like I've reached
Mm-hmm.
a ceiling, and I cannot do this anymore. And like your ambition is boutique, small, lean, systematized. You can spend time with your kids, like you can spend time
Mm-hmm.
with your wife, like more of like the lifestyle, which is seems like it's kind of where it's at now. Like where are you at now? Like what specifically have we worked on that's really been standout for you as you've begun to fire yourself?
Uh, Man, a whole lot of stuff. One thing is just the systems. Notion can be a bottomless pit on trying to create databases and all this stuff. And I used to actually spend a lot of time creating Notion templates and then reworking them. And I think the first day you and I talked, you sent me the Notion templates, the skeletons, and I was like, this is exactly what I need. This is
Mm,
perfect. So slowly adopting those stuff. How to hire an editor. That was a pain in the butt to hire
mm,
an editor. And it took me days, like days and a lot of people, but it would have been much harder if I would have tried to do it on my own. Like
yeah,
you gave me like the description and all this stuff, and it made it so much easier looking back
yeah,
on the hiring process on it's just so many small things, small little incremental things that add up to a huge amount of value.
yeah, yeah, for sure. So it's a lot of like the systematizing and like seeing the business as like different
Yep.
parts are operating, and then the hiring
Yep.
specifically, I think, is another thing that like a lot of people just don't really realize how, yeah, challenging it can be and how much time it takes. Like that's why
Hmm.
recruiters make so much money. It's because like it's a lot of work, and it's like a lot of time to recruit and find good people and put them through a
Yep.
process and all that stuff.
Yeah, I used to consider myself like a systems guy or like automation. I'm all about making things simple, making things seamless. And come to find out, until I got into Agency U, I wasn't even close to where I should have been or could have been, but you don't know what you don't know. And like you said in your video, how do you find a mentor for your agencies? Like find someone that's been there before
Yeah,
and is far ahead of you. And agency U is not just like a mastermind where like someone's telling you this, that, like, oh,
yeah,
you go do this, go do that. I mean, the fact that you're literally serving it up on a silver platter,
yeah,
it just shows a couple things. One, that you're so far ahead of the game that you give it all away, and
yeah.
brand teaching is not threatened at all, or agency isn't at all, and two, that you just really care about people that you're bringing on and want to see them succeed.
Yeah, I mean the X factor is always you. It's like I could give you everything, and if you
Hmm.
don't execute, if you don't put anything to place, then it's pretty irrelevant.
Yep.
So it's always
Hmm.
about putting it into execution. Like, what do you think that you've executed that's helped you most in your business? Like specifically, is it like hiring process? Like systems is kind of like a generalized term, but like what's a specific
Hmm.
example of like, dang, I'm so glad I had this, that it
Hmm.
saved me X amount of time, X amount of money, or produced X amount of money for my agency?
The breakdown of I mean, you essentially gave me your onboarding slide
Mm,
deck. And because you and I are essentially, or Bentijik and I are essentially in the same somewhat niche, you literally told me just copy it. And I was like, okay. So I changed the colors, took photos out, made it a little bit shorter, modified the packages, and that worked to help me sell it. And also, I think the reason why I first reached out to you was, I think I asked you how do you handle how do you work with out of state clients? Because I was doing that, but I wasn't sure exactly. I was working with clients, and they were sending me videos. It was a complete drag.
yeah.
And then you said, "Oh, we go out to them," and I was like, "Oh yeah, but that would suck. How do you do that?" And you're like, "Oh, we just do a 3 month of content." And I was like, "Why didn't I think of that? It's so simple. It's so simple, and it's so effective." And just that switch alone, I went out of state and probably made, I don't know. I think when I first was onboarded, I was I had one person that was already communicating with me and wanted to jump on board what we were offering. And I was kind of rushing with like the Zapier and all that stuff to get the onboarding stuff, which is another great thing because
Yeah.
I was like a stud. I'm like a one-man band, and all of a sudden these emails and SMSs are coming. And
Yeah.
so just being able to have that one little nugget in the onboarding, probably what, 20 grand, maybe 20 grand of just that
Crazy.
shift of mindset of being having the confidence of going out of state
Totally.
prepared with an onboarding and a step by step on, first you do onboarding, then you do this, then you do that, then you do that. And I was like, just took all the thinking out of it
For
rather than
sure.
scrambling around and like, what's next? And they know exactly what's next because of the onboarding process that again was already built in the system of
Totally.
Course Creator 360. I just had to change some stuff out and
Yeah.
send it.
Yeah. And it's like if you like, I think systems like that's gonna make you more money because the client's gonna have a stellar experience. You just
Mm-hmm.
save 20 hours trying to like onboard them manually yourself. So it's like yeah, paramount. That's cool, man. Cool to hear.
Totally.
What about like what are some other like measurable like successes that maybe you've seen through some nuggets that we've been able to work with you on?
Success has been time, and I just have so much time back
Mm,
of, and not even just, I mean, I have time to do other things and build the business. Like I said before, I only had so much time to edit videos, and with the essentially holding my hand to bring on an editor, which, I mean, like $15 a video, like my time is way more valuable than
yeah,
$15 a video an hour. So I'm able to triple, quadruple the amount of people I'm about to bring in because I just outsource it. So the time that I'm able to get back is completely, I mean, I can't even put a price tag on it. And not even just the time, the headache of having to put captions on a video, that is the worst. That's the worst
yeah,
thing ever. There's nothing creative about it.
yeah,
So there's nothing creative about it. And then now I'm in the process of bringing on the other thing that I hate the most is scheduling content. So now I'm going to bring on the VA. I was talking to her today. She's coming on to schedule content for me because that's a drag too, you
yeah.
know. And then
Nice.
now I can just focus on sales calls and focus on things that I want to do. So now I can shift focus to doing more creative stuff like storytelling and things like that. And then the captions, the vertical video stuff, like that that's just like that's the easy stuff. And I
Yeah,
can really do what I'm really passionate about, which is actually telling stories and, you know, all the fun creative things, video stuff.
yeah. Love it. And you feel like you have a really clear vision of how you can get there.
100%.
Yeah,
And
which
that
is
the
probably
real
the
estate
best
side
feeling
of
ever.
it, 100%. And now I think one of the first videos I sent you, I was like, man, or I think I posted online, or I think I sent you a video. I was like, man, I feel like I have something to grow now.
Yeah,
At first, I felt very stagnant, very still, very static because I couldn't move, I couldn't scale. I was just doing the same thing because I didn't know how to get out of myself and fire myself.
yeah.
Now I have something to, like, a vision to chase for, because the real estate stuff, I can systematize it, and I sold the
Totally.
real estate media business before. I can sell this thing again. And
Yeah,
if I don't sell it, I could just build it bigger and bigger and bigger and just hire more editors and more
yeah,
people. Video's gonna go nowhere. And I could just focus on being the CEO and not
yeah,
being a solopreneur, and focus on the projects that I really want to do, which is like the long form creative storytelling stuff with the
yeah.
music and the color grade and all that stuff.
Totally. Yeah, that's cool, man. Super proud of you. As far as like future plans, like what is the the future of the agency next 6-12 months as you continue to grow and scale? Is it like, hey, I want to
I
work
think,
myself out of this, get to 20 hours a week and focus on passion projects, spend time with my wife, or
yeah,
grind
yeah,
and
totally.
scale
So
this?
our taco trailer is almost done, and I want to build that puppy up, and
Nice.
I don't want to work in the trailer forever. I mean,
Yeah.
but being there and being the face of the brand, it was very successful because, I mean, believe it or not, I'm a full-blooded beaner. And when like people show up and they want to talk about like horchata and tacos, and they can talk to me in Spanish, they trip out. So, I mean, I'm the face of the brand. I was kind of hesitant for me to not do it. I was gonna hire
Yeah.
someone to do it, but now I have time, and I can actually
Yeah.
scale my business now and actually put effort in that, and focus on what I really want to do, which is build. That's like the family side hustle.
Totally.
um and then I could automate the real estate stuff, and then pick the big projects when I want to do it, and then I'll repeat the same process with the taco business. So build that thing up, and then fire myself once it gets real traction, and then who knows, do something else. I
Yeah.
can't sit still. I
Yeah.
like to keep moving and do other stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the same way with you. Is like I value freedom in doing something I enjoy way more than I value finances or any of that stuff. So it's like I'm trying to work to fuel my hobbies and like do stuff that I
Mm-hmm.
enjoy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
Totally. Freedom. Just like
yeah.
I'm going to San Diego. I got to fly out twice in October. So it's a total of like 8 days, I think, total, nine
Yeah.
days in the whole month. Before, like, I would be freaked out because
Yeah.
it's very hard to film a client and still edit videos at the same time.
Yeah.
So now I'm like loading it in the
Editing on the
front. I'm gonna
plane and all that stuff. Yeah.
100%. Now I'm gonna have the social poster on board by then. I have maybe 40 videos out to editors being edited at the moment. So
Yeah.
I'm good. I could
Yeah.
just now on the plane, I'm gonna work on the business, automate stuff for my podcast intake. I have a list of things I can do on the business
Yeah.
and not do in the business stuff on the plane. And just or we're in the hotel room and it's just a couple hours here, a couple hours there. And then while
Yeah.
I'm there with my client filming, I'm there with my client filming, not worrying about, oh man, I gotta, once I'm done here, I gotta go back to the hotel room. I gotta edit another 10 videos, I gotta schedule it.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Yeah, that's cool, man. It's been fun to watch, and it sounds like you feel really confident in the business, and you've actually been able to build a business and not just
Yep.
like a side hustle or something that's disorganized. It's an actual operation that you can see, and it's like you remove your emotions from it, and it's just it is what it is, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And to think I haven't even gone through all the Notion stuff you have. Like I
Yeah,
haven't even gone through all the things you sent us.
like
Like,
the sales stuff and like a
yeah.
lot of the
Yeah. Sales is like the next thing. Like I have never had so many sales calls in my life. Even like as a
yeah,
real estate agent, it was, I mean, it's cool. I like it because I'm not trying to sell a house. I'm talking about my stuff. And then being the mastermind with agency U, like the things we
yeah,
talk about. I used that the
totally.
other day, the whole hour and a half before someone feels confident enough to buy from you.
Yeah,
Like that's killer. I said the other day, I was like, it's a
so
good little
good.
nugget. So just being in
Yeah,
a group of people that have the same goal and in the same industry is also very important, especially from what like myself, where I think lots of creatives are like that. I mean, they like dark rooms, they like to be solo, they like to be in a quiet
sure.
place. They're not necessarily like in a bullpen working all the time.
Yeah,
And I think that's the pitfall of people in our industry.
100%. Cool, man. Anything else that would be helpful to add for agencies that are watching this? Maybe we sent it to them and told them to watch it before a sales call, or maybe they just randomly came across it. As far as considering agency or just agency life in general, or anything for that
Yeah,
matter.
yeah. I think a very simple thing is if you're asking yourself, how do I do this? If you even consider how do I scale, if there's a frustration of wanting to get out where you're at now and get to another place that you see, but you're not sure exactly how to get there, I will willing to bet anything that there is a Notion template, there's a video, or there's somebody you could ask, like Austin or anyone else in the group that can get you there. That's the power of agency. You have the ops. You're like the ops guy, the creative guy, and then you have Gilberto, who's like the sales guy. I mean, those are the two things combined that will push any business, let alone a creative agency forward. So any frustrations, if you're content where you're at, I mean, I probably still recommend it because
Yeah,
there's always room for growth no matter
yeah,
what. It's a very, very small investment considering how much growth you can achieve by if you cap one nugget, implement it, it'd go a long way.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been really cool to watch you, man. Pump for what's coming. Grateful
Yeah,
for you. Thanks for sharing your experiences and getting vulnerable.
likewise.
Super helpful for other people as they listen to this and actually like sharing exactly what you're doing. I think that's super, super good and super helpful. So appreciate it, man.
Likewise, bud. Thank you.
All right.